Here we are again. Can you believe 7 years?
Did you want to work off of this? Uh,
I
I've
have
got everything in here, unless you've got additional comments to start.
no, just whatever she wrote here.
Yeah,
However,
see if that's it.
yeah, but I wrote a few different things,
Yeah.
so it's okay. It's all good.
All right. Just try to keep it together.
That's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vukovic. Okay. So I guess I start, right?
We got 1 minute if you want to give it one more minute.
I'd love to give it one more minute. I feel like I've been running with my head cut off.
I know.
Can't believe I'm bringing the mic actually closer to me. I'm up. We're good? See how big mine is? That's why I like mine. Annie? Nope, not working yet. Audio.
That one's working. That one's not.
Oh, testing.
You want to use this one?
Something I said?
For some reason this one has died, but that one is live.
All right.
Let's just move this over a little bit. Is that good?
We get to share the mic tonight. That's working. Annie, bonjour, and welcome. To officially open our VIP reception this evening, I would like to invite our beautiful Strong Water singers who have been with us and a big part of Celebration of Nations for the last 7 years to offer us a beautiful opening song.
Annie, bonjour. I'm just waiting for all my ladies to get into the room tonight. We are so honored to be here to celebrate the 7th year of Celebration of Nations. Oh man, we are so excited. Hold on, there's a lot of us now, so we're gonna keep going around. So, okay, all right. So the song that we're going to sing today is actually unreleased. It's pretty exciting because my father, who's hopefully in the room somewhere here tonight, James Shauna, actually wrote this song. Oh, there he is. And we turned it into a hand drum song. And this song is called Naramo Shin, and it talks about asking the Creator for help. Help us walk this good path. Help us be good humans. Help us do the right things. So, we are Strong Water singers. Everybody say hi. Hi to the people. Thank you so much for having us here today. Oops, sorry. And here's your mic back.
It sounded great up here, but it was like in stereo, so it was fantastic. Another round of applause for Strongwater Singers. So thanks to the Strongwater Singers for kicking us off and running here tonight. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our 2023 Celebration of Nations sponsors, our lead sponsor, Meridian Credit Union. Yeah, sure. Our marquee sponsors, Brock University and Hatch. And we'd also like to offer gratitude to the City of St. Catharines for continued support, as well as sponsors Niagara Parks, Niagara College, District School Board of Niagara, Fox Constructors, and our more than 20 community partners and friends of Celebration of Nations.
One of our marquee sponsors for the gathering is Hatch, a consulting engineering company that has made environmental sustainability and improving relations with Indigenous communities a key priority. We'd like to welcome Kathleen Vukovic, to share a few words from Hatch.
Thank you very much, Michelle Elise. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening at the opening of what is surely going to be a very special weekend. Hatch is very proud to be a marquee sponsor of this event, and we truly believe in the importance of both recognizing our country's Indigenous peoples and supporting the arts in our communities. The two coming together truly makes this a celebration. Our energy business at Hatch was founded right here in the Niagara region, and in fact, 2024 will mark our 100th year here in the community. At Hatch, we believe in leaving a legacy that is positive in the communities where we live and work, and we strive for our work to be a catalyst for long-term growth in those communities. Hatch was the very first engineering, procurement, contracting, and management firm to attain Progressive Aboriginal Relations, or PAR, certification from the CCAB, the Canadian Council of Aboriginal Business. And we have similar accreditations across the globe. We do this because we recognize the mutually beneficial impact of business development with Indigenous-owned businesses and their communities, which makes us so proud to be a sponsor to the great work of Michelle Elise and your team, and all the amazing Indigenous talent that we're in store for, that you've curated for this celebration. Our staff are really looking forward to a great weekend here, and we hope that you enjoy. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. It just seems like it was yesterday that we were having lunch and talking about ideas, and here we are together, and just so grateful for our partnership. We also would like to give gratitude and thanks to our chef, Charles Catchpole of Charger Food, for providing us with this delicious Indigenous gourmet food. So please, a round of applause for the food tonight. It's delicious as always.
Okay, in this, our 7th year of Celebration of Nations, we are holding our 5th year of Outstanding Achievement Awards. For the first 3 years, our core evaluation group set in place the scope and standards of the awards, honoring exceptional people whose contributions regarding Indigenous knowledge, language, art, history, and culture were widely recognized, respected, and valued. To ensure the credibility and objectivity of the Outstanding Achievement Awards moving forward, last year, the process transitioned to peer group nominations and selections, which has worked out extremely well. As a result, previous recipients make the nominations and vote for the award recipients, with the core group breaking any ties or addressing unique circumstances. And once again, this phenomenal peer group did a fantastic job, and the recipients this year are truly extraordinary. Therefore, it gives us great pleasure to announce the 2023 Celebration of Nations Outstanding Achievement Awards.
As a Mohawk artist from Turtle Clan, who hails from the Six Nations of the Grand River, producing arts that inspire and heal and can vary in style from traditional to contemporary. Some of that inspiration comes from the beginning, from being the program and cultural team leader at Native Horizons Treatment Center. And it doesn't hurt when one also comes from a long generational line of artists within his family. Among the many styles of art that he creates, which includes painting, digital art, traditional art, and leatherwork, as well as inspirational dancing on the powwow trail, he embraces opportunities to develop professional designs using his natural ingenuity. His work is on display across Canada and the United States, and is prominently presented here in the Niagara region at Brock University, the Peace Bridge Authority, Fort Erie Health Systems, St. Catherine's Hospital, and elsewhere. For applying his art to his work, assisting individuals working through addictions and trauma, for using multiple informed approaches to assisting people in achieving their own desired wellness, for being personable, knowledgeable, and dedicated to his work, we confirm as the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement Award for Visual Arts, Delbert J.R. Jonathan.
Oh, a few words.
Yeah, can't get off that easy.
A few words is hard. I say a lot of stuff. You heard I work in a treatment center, so I'm always talking. I don't know. Well, I could say that it's been a long time doing artwork. It's something I love to do. Being able to create and always share a piece of me.
There we go.
Thank you. And I think with that, I'll stop.
Okay, born in Six Nations of the Grand River, into the Wolf Clan of the Cayuga Nation, and raised in Buffalo, New York, our recipient tonight has been ever present in the Niagara region, not only through engagement with numerous individuals on numerous projects, but also as a character actor with over 100 film and TV credits to his resume. He studied photography and film at both Syracuse University and Ryerson Polytechnic University. He then began a successful career as an actor, first taking small roles in movies such as Police Academy in 1984, in The Believers in 1987, in The Big Town also in 1987, and with Kiefer Sutherland and Lou Diamond Phillips in The Renegades in 1989. So we got off to a great start, and we could spend the entire evening listing the remainder of those 100-plus screen credits. But he deserves a particular call out for his role in the 1998 film Smoke Signals, directed by Chris Eyre and based upon a screenplay by Sherman Alexie, the coming-of-age comedy drama that became universally popular throughout the Indigenous world. For being a successful professional who has never forgotten his roots, for lending his support to community groups and charitable organizations, and for establishing his highly entertaining band, the Troublemakers. We confirm in the category of Outstanding Achievement for Performing Arts, the troublemaker himself, Gary Farmer. Congratulations, Gary.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. I didn't know there'd be anyone here. It's nice to see everyone's smiling face. It was a great meal. Thank you very much. Chimiwich, Nawagoa. Yeah, I was born on the res. I grew up around Buffalo, Niagara Falls, New York. I was just thinking, I did one of my early professional engagements here. One flew over the cuckoo's nest to play Chief Bromden at the Press Theater back in the early 80s. I had a wonderful theatrical career in Canada, having grown up mostly stateside. I always thought that we should teach more performance to our youth, because I learned as an actor that, you got to make positive choices, right, to be an interesting character, to do 100 different characters, but you're always choosing positive choices. And I thought if we could teach the youth at an early age to make positive choices in their life, it could lead to a wonderful performance career, which I've had the pleasure of doing. I attended, to start, I suppose, my first experience was in 1975 at the Center of Indigenous Theatre, which back then was called the Native Theatre School. The Center of Indigenous Theatre still exists in downtown Toronto for the last 48 years. If you're looking somewhere to show some support, they're always looking for support, and I'm a long-time supporter of that situation there. I also had the privilege of getting Aboriginal People's Television Network license. I was very proud of that effort. I had a fair amount of CRTC, it's like the FCC in the States experience. And from trying to get radio licensing, I had this vision to radioize Aboriginal Canada together and connecting both urban communities to rural communities, because I knew that we had strength in the rural with language and culture and ceremony, and we had strength in the urban communities from dealing with all the COVIDs and AIDS and every other related disease that came to us throughout the history of time. But I thought trying to merge those two communities to work together more, to bring more language and culture to the city was vital. That effort's ongoing. There's been a lot of success with broadcasting for Native people in Canada, and I only continue to work in that effort to kind of radioize our people and begin to look south, because even the American Native people have very little access to any electronic media. So there's a lot of reasons for our young people to engage in the fields of work that I engaged in, and I thank you again all so much for the honor. Oh. Yeah.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks for everything that you have done, and thank you for opening the doors for so many youth in the industry. I can't agree more. The arts is definitely a place that we should really have more of our Indigenous people walk through. So on to our awards. A little bit of a rabble-rousers of sorts, a member of the Montreal Lake Cree Nation in northern Saskatchewan. Our next recipient has shared her knowledge and spread her influence among many Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabeg and Métis students in the region. As director of McMaster University's Indigenous Research Institute, She is also an assistant professor with its Indigenous Studies Department and serves as the National Director of Walls to Bridges, an educational program bringing post-secondary education to incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people. Prior to arriving in McMaster in 2021, she worked at University of Alberta, where she was the director of the Indigenous Women and Youth Resilience Project and the academic lead on the Indigenous Canada, a highly successful online course boasting over 500,000 people and learners. She was also an assistant professor for the Native Studies and Women and Gender Studies. For her action in building the McMaster Indigenous Research Institute to facilitate and promote increased visibility of Indigenous knowledge and mythologies, creating space for dialogue between Western research approaches and Indigenous research collaborations, and for supporting both Indigenous and non-Indigenous researchers, ethic boards, and decision makers. In this area of Indigenous research, we confirm the recipient of Outstanding Awards for Intellectual Advancement, Dr. Savage Bear.
Hi, Savage Bear Natsigasam, Montreal Lake Cree Nation, Otsenia. I want to recognize, man, I'm in really good company. I'm really honored to be here. I'm honored to be on this territory, Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe people. I'm just a little Cree from Saskatchewan, so moving here 2 years ago, there was a lot of people with open arms, and it's a beautiful, beautiful land, so thank you for allowing me to be a guest here. I just want to say about the award, and with any kinds of things that I do, I surround myself with passionate, curious, amazing people, and I could never have done anything that I have some accomplishments. I could never have done it alone. And so one of the amazing things I have is this great posse here that you can see they're filming me. I said, hey man, let's wear red. Let's just be red. And they're like, oh, some people have never worn red before. And they did it. And this is because I have these great people that I'm so blessed to have in my life. So thank you to my grandma and my mom for all that they've given me and shown me. And I want to say a hi and to my sisters out there that are still working hard on what they're doing. Kinanas kumtanan. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Our next Outstanding Achievement Award recipient reflects a unique circumstance, as this is a posthumous honoring. One of our nominators put forward and advocated for recognition of someone who contributed a lifetime of work to the revitalization of Indigenous language and culture, and the peer group approved. Born in 1952 on the Tyendinaga Mohawk Reserve on the Bay of Quinte, he worked tirelessly to keep the Ganangeha Mohawk language alive. His efforts have created a generation of fluent speakers who now teach other Haudenosaunee citizens the grammar and vocabulary method he developed. He has written multiple books and was well known and loved throughout the Haudenosaunee diaspora, including among language advocates within Niagara, where his knowledge lives on as an invaluable resource. Academia also understood his value, as he was a resident professor at Western University for close to 40 years. In 2017, he received an honorary doctorate from Brock University for his efforts in reviving the Ganangeha Mohawk language. He is greatly missed, but not forgotten. For contributing so much to generations of Indigenous students who desired to learn their birthright language, we confirm, as recipient of the Outstanding Achievement Award for Language and Culture, the Venerable Ganawadagon David Miracle. And accepting on his behalf and on behalf of the family is Curtis Miracle and other family members. Please come up. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Don't drop it. Sego sewa gwego, te hanadoga yungats. Aduma Ruwayats. This is my brother Thomas, older brother. Thank you for those words. I wasn't sure, I'm not sure what to say. You kind of covered quite a bit of it when Ganadawagon was young. We know the stories of him seeking out all the elders in the community and phonetically writing everything he could down. And he's got these little books in his house that he's been that go back to his teenage years. He left, as he said, he left Tyndonega in roughly 1982 to pursue an education at Western, and he had been there since, so 41 years. Unfortunately, we lost him this past June, and he's left a legacy, and he's left some big shoes to fill, and we're definitely trying to do that, as explained, all the people that have used his hundreds of dictionaries and books and teaching tools and everything. As I've been going through his house in London, I've just been finding all kinds of things that he just didn't complete and finish, and I'm hoping somehow we can get that work done. I would also like to very much thank De Hahande, Frank Miller, for putting his name forward. It's an honor for us, for my brother as well, that we're here to be able to accept the award on behalf of our brother Ganadawago. Thank you.
I would just like to add, excuse me, my name is Tom. I'd like to add that when David parted, I believe he was fortunate to have at his bedside his good friend and his brother, our brother Curtis. Curtis was there when he left, and I think it gave David a lot of comfort to know that Curtis and his daughter Shanley was at his side. So I and my family are grateful for Curtis and Shanley to be with him, to give him that comfort. I want to thank everyone too for the recognition of Ganadawago, our brother David, for recognizing his lifelong commitment to development, preservation, retention of our language. So thank you from our family. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you so much. Okay, we're good then?
No, David Downs.
Oh, okay. Okay. We now draw your attention to a senior executive with over 30 years of work experience in the municipal, provincial, and not-for-profit sectors. His vast knowledge of the tourism industry, media relations, and revenue-producing operations in a government setting has served to establish his distinguished reputation. His background includes time spent as president and CEO of the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce and as the executive director at Tourism Hamilton. He also serves or has served on several boards, including Niagara Falls Tourism, Tourism Partnership of Niagara, and the Winter Festival of Lights Board. He joined the Niagara Parks Commission as Senior Director of Business Development in March 2013 and became the Chief Operating Officer in 2016. In the area of Indigenous relations, he has shown a deep and sustained commitment to the incorporation of Indigenous historical and expressive art programming, not only at the Landscape of Nations Memorial, but all up and down the Niagara River corridor. As an interesting side note, he succeeds the first Indigenous CEO of Niagara Parks, Regan McCullough, who recently received his federal certificate of Indian status, continuing traditions and intentions that are transforming this distinguished provincial agency. As a result, we confirm in the category of Outstanding Achievement for the Two Row Alliance, David Adames. Congratulations.
Well, Michelle, Elise, and Tim, thanks so much for this honor. I too am in great company tonight, wonderful company. When Tim called me a couple weeks ago to say that you've won this award, I said, oh, you mean Niagara Parks has won this award? Because this is truly a team effort. From the support we have at our board of directors, and April Jeffs, our board chair, is here tonight, to staff members like Steve Barnhart, Jim Hill, previously Travis Hill, advisors like Michelle Elise, Tim Johnson, who have done so much with the community to build our Indigenous program. Tim, you mentioned the Landscape of Nations monuments. I see Raymond Sky is here tonight as well. I was saying to someone tonight that that monument, that memorial, looks like it's been there for a long, long time. So I think it was 2016, if I've got the year right. But rich programming that goes on at that site today. Michelle Elise has led educational programs there, as you have, Tim. Folks have learned an awful lot from that site. One of my favorite events, I know it's April's favorite event, is the annual Indigenous Remembrance Day ceremony, the first Saturday of November at that location. I reflected on the drive here tonight about last year's National Day for Truth and Reconciliation and the rich and important programming that happened at the Niagara Parks Power Station. To have Phyllis Webstead meet for the first time the Prime Minister that day. The previous evening of the concert that Tim, that you curated, and Brian Kahn's work on September 30th, the sunrise ceremony, the healing circle. A very, very important day, one that we'll commemorate this year on September 29th with an unveiling of an important plaque on the site. The integration of educational programming and the narratives at our Niagara Parks Power Station, at Journey Behind the Falls, and other parts along the Niagara Parkway to tell the important Indigenous story. The fact that we're working with partners like Parks Canada, the town of Fort Erie, the town of Niagara Lake, the city of Niagara Falls on Explore the Niagara. Tim has curated a brand new Indigenous tour along the 56-kilometer Niagara River corridor. Michelle Elise has curated a new sonic and immersive tour for the Niagara Glen, which will launch softly this fall and again in the spring. And that's just the beginning. We have a lot more coming. So thank you very much for the honor of this award, and it certainly is emblematic of all the team effort at Niagara Parks. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Just a note that neither Michelle Elise nor I selected David. It came from our peers. It sounds like maybe we had a fixer here, but just to let you know.
I'm glad you brought that to light. So, tonight, we have two recipients of the Outstanding Achievement Award for Language and Culture. We have had such a remarkable recipients in this category over the last 5 years. It's been really incredible. But as a result, we are delighted to recognize an exceptional dedicated instructor of Indigenous language and culture who has been nothing short of prolific. Sorry, there goes, I need a glass of water. Turtle Clan and Mohawk Six Nations, and the son of a residential school survivor. He has become a standout at the Fort Erie Native Friendship Center. Just listen to what he has done. Do we have like one of those long rolls, right? He marketed and registered over 400 language learners for the Central Virtual Language Program, which I was fortunate enough to take part in. He has created beginner workbooks at the 6 Haudenosaunee languages. Oh, thank you. 6 Haudenosaunee languages and coordinated the first language program involving 7 Indigenous languages, which included Anishinaabe-Moan. He designed and developed and coordinated a storytelling presentation for the University at Buffalo, where a short version of the Haudenosaunee creation story was recited, starting with Mohawk and continuing consecutively with Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, and finishing with Tuscarora. This was the first time that some event-goers heard all 6 Haudenosaunee languages in one sip. He also researched and developed a curriculum presentation of the Haudenosaunee calendar for ceremonies, and among many other accomplishments, way too many to list tonight. He was also nominated, selected, and confirmed for the 2023 Outstanding Achievement Award for Languages and Cultures. Ladies and gentlemen, please warm welcome to Sam Hill.
Sam, congratulations.
Well, let me start off with saying let's give Elise and Michelle and Tim a hand for this great event that they do. In 5-6 years, you've done a wonderful job. Sagos, Skanagoaga, Otnahodahanje, you got Sam Hill, you know, I do have to say thank you for this. It was a little shocking. I want to thank Jennifer for giving me the venue and the community to actually do something of this nature. We were in a community that the individuals were thirsty for language and culture. So we were able to do something that hadn't even been done on Six Nations, and that's do instruction in all 6 of the Six Nations languages and Ojibwe. So credit to our New Credit First Nation neighbors. A lot of the individuals that we brought forward actually deserve this award more than me. So we have Tawny Bennett, the Mohawk instructor, Lodon Hunyas, the Oneida instructor, Gloria Williams, the Onondaga instructor, Fran Henry and Steve Henhock for the Cayuga, Damian Webster and Jamie Jacob for the Seneca, and we did seemed like the whole little community of Tuscarora was at our whim. So Betsy Bissell, Corinne, Brian, there was a money of them. So. But you know what, one of the things I've always said is that really the language learners also need to be acknowledged. Without language speakers and without language learners, we don't have a revitalization of our language. We don't have a language program. Thank you all very much. Yeah.
I guess we're skipping. I do it again.
No, I think the last one then is Dave Levine.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, here we go. I'm going to take a sip. A water pause, my apologies. And of course, I talk with my hands, so I can't have a glass of water in my hands. Something will spill. One of the special awards we offer is Outstanding Achievement Award for Empathic Traditions. That references the embodied culture attributes and teachings that the nature connections among humans and the natural world, and with the natural forces and energies that make human existence possible. It is often elders who therefore receive this award. And this year, we are very proud of the elder who has dedicated so much of his life, and with a true, unwavering inner passion, to support Indigenous peoples within the Niagara region and beyond. As an Innu from northern Quebec who graduated from Eastdale Secondary School in Welland, he pursued his post-secondary education applying to the Electronic Engineering Technologist program at the newly formed Niagara College in 1967. Not that we're trying to give away his age or anything. Following a brief stint at Page Hersey Tubbs in Welland, working on a metallurgy, he graduated in 1971 to gain employment at Stelco Steel in Hamilton, where he worked on and off for about 20 years. However, an internal calling and a desire to help our community members propelled him to shift gears. And for that, we are so, so grateful. He started working at Fort Erie Native Friendship Center in 1995 as a powwow and program coordinator, and went on to provide numerous contributions as an advisor and counselor to the community over the course of his stellar career. During this time, he worked extended to helping youth, and especially youth who are men, to overcome alcohol and drugs. It wasn't easy, and like they say, blood, sweat, and tears, and I know that you've walked many of those roads with them. But he knew he had found his path and needed to share the gifts given to him by Creator, applying these traits and attributes that exemplify how old elders become elders. True to the 7 grandfather teachings, empathy, humility, honesty, truth, respect, love, bravery, and wisdom. He helped so many and continues to help so many. Ladies and gentlemen, we confirmed as recipient of Outstanding Achievement Award for Empathic Tradition, the esteemed and beloved elder, Dave LeBay.
Little bit here, looking at this award. When I was a young man, they had little notches in the side and a little hollow in the middle where you could butt out your cigarettes. So now you know why people really like me. I find it incredible to be in this same stage as the people who have come up here before. I'm old enough now that I can say that I've read a lot about people in this room and others. And I've lived long enough to know on a personal basis many of them, maybe too many. No, can never have too many friends. But like Michelle Elise said, my life really didn't start till I found out what I was really supposed to do. And it wasn't only from meeting certain people, it was from being one of those people. And I was very fortunate. I have this gift that if I want to quit something, I can quit it. And I thought, why doesn't everybody else just do what I do? You know, but why is it so hard for people to quit this thing? And back in my day, weed was about the heaviest thing that was around in Welland, which is where I grew up. I'm sorry to say that, but it was a good place to grow up, actually, for people who lived in the wartime housing. Because on my road alone, I had 12 Indigenous families. And we would go on summer trips and tour the Niagara Peninsula, harass the people, and have some fun. we'd always have food, we'd always have fun, we'd always enjoy nature. But there was always the ever-present as well. The alcohol was always there. And seeing that, I think that impressed me, and knowing the people I lived on the same street with, I thought, I'm going to quit this nonsense. I said that when I was about 24, and it took me 9 years. So I didn't quit till I was 33. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am now, but it's been quite a while. Yeah. I have friends who are younger than the time I spent sober now. So that's, I'm really proud of that. And some of the people who helped me are in this room. They don't know it, but they did. Because every day going to work in that environment, and you see these young people, 12, 13, 14 years old, who have taken that up, and it's something that it's not ours to have. To get that understanding through to them, all I did was talk about my life. And eventually I actually got to know me. And I said, that's what you have to do now. You have to go out and learn who you really are. And all I did was repeat that for 38 years. And Fort Erie Native Friendship Center kept on throwing money at me, and I kept on doing it. And I thought, this is fun, you know. Nice warm place to sit, you know. Good-looking people most of the time. It was, I can say my life so far has been fabulous. Because right across the street from me, there were two people who were from Tyendinaga. And the one thing they taught me was you always have to keep a sense of humor. And they said, what you can do to know that you have been in contact with people from Tyendinaga is go down there and stand on a hill and throw a rock. And it's a miracle if you don't hit, fill in the blank, you put in your own name, you know. You know, so like what they're saying is there's a lot of hills, a lot of miracles, and a lot of other people on Tyendinaga. And their name was Tom and Winnie Howard, and I got the opportunity to grow up with their grandchildren. They would come down from Six Nations. And so we started looking on the street, and I found out a lot of the people I knew on that street and then around in that area, in the wartime housing, there were a lot of Indigenous people. And it's really fine to have retired from Fort Erie and now to be able to do some of the things I used to do again. I can get out and do things in a different way. This award, I'm blown away by it. I don't look upon what I do as great. I look upon it as human. That's all we have to do is be what we were made. And I give you thanks for coming here to listen to an Innu from Quebec talk to you. I'm a DP. I came from Quebec, a displaced person. And a lot of the people I grew up with were Cree from Quebec, and Innu are very much like Cree, except we steal better. We never get caught. And so I'm going to take this award, but I want you guys to swear that you never saw me with it, okay? Because I know eventually somebody's going to come and try and take it back. Chinesh kumatin, chinesh kumatinan, chinesh kumatinao. I hope.
Congratulations, man. Yeah, thank you very much. So there you have it, an extraordinary list of exceptionally gifted, talented, and hardworking people who reveal depth, substance, and inspiration through Indigenous knowledge and expressive arts. Delbert J.R. Jonathan, Gary Farmer, Dr. Savage Bear, David Miracle, Sam Hill, David Adames, and Dave LeBay. Let's give them all another great round of applause. We also thank our peer nomination and selection group of previous award recipients for their own outstanding achievement at arriving at this stellar lineup for 2023. So with that, we ask that all of the award recipients now join Michelle, Elise, and I up on stage for a group photograph.
And people can mingle. Oh, I couldn't talk. And you can all go mingle and get more food. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of the reception before we go to see Homelands at 7:30. Okay, sounds good.